Yeah, speaking of stuff that we've kind of done and watched recently, finally finished my first Final Fantasy game.
Oh, which one?
Yeah, 16. Remember when I was just like, I gave up. I don't know if I need to finish this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I should finish a Final Fantasy game.
How did you feel?
How was it?
Can confirm. I was like, I don't think I needed to finish it.
Oh no.
Yeah, the ending was all right.
It was just like everything that I thought was going to happen happened, and I was just playing it to literally like see the climax and the characters like closed off, and I was like,
I think we can agree though, right, that Gav is the best character.
Gav is fucking goated.
Gav
He's the one who sounds like, all right, mate, I'll do it.
No, that's Sid.
Oh,
Sid's
Sid.
great.
Sid is all.
He's
Sid's
also
voice.
goated, but
Sid
like
is all
by
Sid.
the end, Gav is goated. Like he's one of those characters at first you're just like, I don't really care about you.
He's like, all right, mate, how's it going?
how's it going? You going off on an adventure? I like Sid. Sid was cool.
I mean, like the fight. Yeah, with 16, the fights were like cinematically incredible. Like they looked absolutely gorgeous. But just some of the characters, like Jill was the most boring fucking character I've ever seen in a Final Fantasy game. She was so boring.
I think my favorite experience with Final Fantasy, which is nothing to do with Final Fantasy, but just picture it. I'm just gonna say everything with the same amount of context that I got. I'm just playing Final Fantasy. We've literally just finished talking about Final Fantasy on a Trash Taste recording.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, let's just play a little bit more. Get a line message from Joey. And all I see is just out of context, oh, he gay. And I just burst out. I just burst out laughing.
Okay, so there's a scene. One of the characters, he's like the king of one of he's like the prince of one of the kingdoms. That he's like one of the boss fights basically. And you know, very progressive of Square Enix. He's a gay character, right? But the way that they reveal that he is a gay character just comes so suddenly, where like you're kind of watching him talk and you're like, all right, yeah, he's just like a typical blonde-haired, blue-eyed prince.
Typical Final Fantasy
like prince character, and then he just starts making out with his guard, and I'm just like, whoa! And I just texted Garnt in all caps. Oh, he gay.
No, I got what he was, because I remember playing it with Sydney, like the first like beginning bit, and Sydney was like, he's definitely gay, and I was like, Sydney, we're like, this is the first scene. I was like, no, he's gay. And then and then afterwards, like I get the message from Joey being like, "Oh, he gay." so they obviously like they did the energy well, you know, to be like, "Oh, is it something they're gonna like kind of like tease? Is it gonna be the usual anime thing where it's just like, you know, are they best friends or are they like?" Is he European or is he gay? We'll never know. And they went full. Oh, he gay.
Does he know?
Yeah.
But I think 16 was just in the grander scheme of all the Final Fantasy games. I thought it was all right.
It epitomizes every reason why I very rarely finish a JRPG, where it's just you have this. The
ending is important.
Yeah, but the ending is normally a sum of its parts. You know, it's pretty.
I mean, it didn't do anything that surprised me, and a lot of the interesting and more climactic, kind of like interesting moments for me, came about 2/3 or like the last quarter of the way through the story, where I'm not going to spoil what my favorite parts of this game was, but there is a climactic moment and a climactic boss battle, and that I remember experiencing that, and I was like, this is where the game has peaked. Like in my mind, I was like, I can't see a moment that will eclipse the moment that this has just presented me. And I was just like, after that, I was kind of like, I kind of just feel like I'm just ticking off the boxes now.
Are you talking about the Bahamut fight?
Yes.
Yeah, that is easily the best part of that game.
Yeah, not just the fight itself, but just the lead up. The lead up to that fight, the moment, the payoff with all the characters as well. Yeah. I was just like, all right.
Yeah.
This.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
that was definitely the peak of that game.
Yeah. I was like, this is fucking peak. Yeah. And then I was just like, everything else just feels like I'm just ticking off the boxes to make sure they close it off.
And then it continued for another 20 hours, you know, and just kind of fizzled out. So yeah, that was unfortunate. There's more. Oh fuck. All right.
There was also a scene on the beach Where I was just like,
I agree. That was also peak.
What is the scene?
It's the scene basically where, spoilers for 16, it's basically the scene where Clive, our main character, and Jill, the main love interest, they finally kiss, right? And it's...
but to give context, they're naked on this beach for about a full 5 minutes.
Why are they
and I'm
naked?
just like...
Because they just are.
I can't remember the context, but I remember them being naked and like Jill talking about her fucking motivations and being like, good, like, I'll be with you to the end, Clive. And I'm just like, just fucking do it already. Just fuck right now. Just do it. Just do it. Just stop fucking teasing me.
Meanwhile,
and just do it.
Clive is there, just sitting there listening, bricked up to shit. It's just like, can you shut up? I really want to make out with you right now. Yeah, I remember when it finally happened. I like threw my controller. I was just like, oh, finally.
Oh, it happened.
Oh my
Thank
God.
God.
Yeah, it didn't make the ending any better though. But
Yeah.
it was. I thought it was an all right Final Fantasy game.
When you played 6? No, 8.
8.
Did you have that same feeling where you just like about like the last third, you're like, okay, I'm just like ticking off the boxes now.
I think 8 has a more interesting
Yeah, I actually
ending,
really liked the ending to 8.
Oh, really?
I thought it
Okay.
was a really cool ending.
Okay.
It was almost in the middle where it kind of lost me. Oh, actually, the start. The start was
Yeah,
actually...
yeah.
Often I find, the start of long JRPGs are the hardest to get into because like you if you're a JRPG person, you're so willing to jump into that.
Yeah.
But if you're not, I feel like that is the first 20 hours is where you're just, I think that's crazy to say the first 20 hours. But like, that's where you're going to lose a lot of people because it's like that you have to really give this world a lot of like hope that it's going to pay off.
Do you think that's a valid argument for just any piece of media? It gets good after
No, fuck no.
X hours.
No. Bro,
JoJo would be
Martin
like,
Scorsese has a 4-hour film and we're discussing whether that's too long. So go to someone and be like, hey, it gets good 20 hours in. That's psychotic to say that. It shouldn't be like that.
JoJo would be like,
JoJo, I think JoJo JoJo's kind of, it's a tough one. It's really tough. And I think JoJo...
I know you don't want to admit it, but it's true.
JoJo's just kind of, the first part is the weakest, and that's what makes it by far the hardest to get into.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, really.
It is the JRPG of anime.
It kind of is. And it's really bad because it's like, it's also hasn't quite found its like, I feel like it's kind of charm in season 1 yet. It's still trying to figure out how dumb to go with it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. No, because I was thinking about this because I was like looking for another game to get into. And I was like, Starfield, I think maybe seems kind of up my alley. It's like sci-fi, and I was looking up like reviews and stuff, and people like, there was like quite a few articles that were like, the first 12 hours were pretty like mediocre, but then it gets good.
That's fun.
And I'm like,
Yeah. That's a no from me, dog.
Yeah, that's a big.
That's a full-time job to start appreciating something.
Because I'm like in two minds about this, right? Because I do think that there is an argument to be made that it gets good after X hours. Is like a valid argument because there's just like a certain argument where there are some stories, like for example, One Piece, where the scale is so fucking grand that I think it takes this many manga chapters or this many volumes to get into like the world of One Piece. I honestly think that is justified just with the scale of the story being told in One Piece. And then there is other things where I think it's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome, where you're in this game or you're in this like story for so long that you're like, yeah, I think it's good, but that's because I spent this many hours playing it.
Would you say then that like say JoJo fits into the One Piece side of the mold or the other side? Because it's kind of in the middle, in my opinion. It's a bit of both. It's like, yeah, it's a very grandiose story. I mean, it's been going longer than One Piece, technically speaking.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it's also not as consistent as One Piece is as well. So it's like, it's hard to say. Because, a lot of people will say like, oh yeah, just don't worry. After part 1, it'll get it. Part 2 is good. Part 2 is good.
You know what?
But it's hard to get people into
that. You know what? I think it's the Stockholm syndrome. I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking why. Okay,
JoJo fans don't want to admit it.
I didn't even want to say like part 1 or whatever. I was thinking like part 3.
Part 3, yeah.
Where the reason I liked part 3 was just because I love the feeling of like just going on a trip with the boys.
Yeah.
Right. And I just remember thinking, man, this was really dragged out.
Yeah, I think part 3 was worse than part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But holy shit, like, did I value my time with the boys just because I was forced to sit down and see
It's
the entire
so-
journey?
Because you knew
So many
that
episodes.
Yeah.
if you got through that, then part 4 and 5 would be next, which should just go to.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll just stick through it because I know I'm going to get to the good stuff.
I don't think I would have. I just happened to have it. I happened to be able to watch it. I had no internet.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only reason I watched it is because I just happened to. I was the only thing I could watch.
to do. Yeah.
And because season 3 was so long.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could go back and rewatch it. I just
No.
go back and rewatch the last 5 episodes. And I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely very, very tough to get into it.
For sure.
unfortunately.
Oh, JoJo fans.
Sorry, JoJo fans.
Sorry, JoJo fans.
I do love it though, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is just so hard to get people to watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to justify. Not that you should have to justify getting everyone into a certain show.
No, if you don't like JoJo, that's fine.
Yeah.